Good day, everybody. It's Menopause Taylor here, giving you the state of menopause in the world today. I'm going to bet that if you have been listening to my broadcast, you've been a bit shocked over the last few of them. Here I am, a menopause educator, giving you tutorials on broad topics like the so-called healthcare industry and medical insurance. And the reason I present these sorts of things as well as educate you specifically on all things menopause is because so many women meet with frustration in trying to get what they want for managing their menopause their way. And the vast majority of that frustration stems from not understanding how the medical system works. Knowing how something works is critical to your success with everything. Here's an analogy. If you have no idea that you're going to become menopausal one day, you'll be caught completely off guard when you start having symptoms of menopause. And if you have no clue that estrogen loss is what causes all these symptoms of menopause, you're likely to waste a lot of time and energy trying to fix each symptom individually. And if you don't know that there are diseases associated with menopause, you may miss your opportunity to prevent those diseases. And if you don't prevent those diseases, it may be too late to reverse or treat them once you discover them. So every little piece of knowledge matters, but you have to be able to connect the dots. And women have a lot of little pieces of knowledge, but most of them are entirely incorrect. And this education gives you the correct knowledge, makes sense of it, and then helps you connect the dots. So as with this analogy, knowing how something works enables you to get the very best results. And the more you know about the different working parts of the medical system, the easier it will be for you to get what you want. So today we're going to talk about doctors who function in the traditional medical system. So this pertains to MDs, DOs, medical doctors, of course, doctors of osteopathic medicine, and nurse practitioners, all the professionals who are considered to be medical providers. And I'm going to call this tutorial, Is Your Doctor a Hero or a Heretic? And that's what you will decide. You will decide whether your doctor is a hero or a heretic. And the reason I'm going to give you this little presentation is because I get a lot of comments from women who are either elated or dissatisfied with their doctors. If they're elated, he's a hero. If they're dissatisfied, he's a heretic. But sometimes they think their doctor is a hero or a heretic for the wrong reasons. So if you've ever felt one way or the other about your doctor, you should listen to this podcast because it will be eye-opening for sure. So we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you are going to decide whether your doctor is a hero or a heretic for each. And then I'll give you some behind-the-scenes information that may or may not change your opinion. So here's scenario number one. You're a health nut. You prefer the do-it-yourself natural approach for managing your menopause. You want to discuss dietary options, but your doctor dismisses diet as a viable option and says it's irrelevant. So what do you think? Is your doctor a hero or a heretic? Well, let me tell you the behind-the-scenes facts that will help you understand the situation more clearly. Do you know how much education doctors get on diet and nutrition in medical school? None, nada, not 1 minute. So the fact is that your doctor knows nothing about diet or nutrition. Now, you may find that incredulous, but diet and nutrition belong to the wellness industry, and doctors are not part of the wellness industry. Dietitians, nutritionists, and naturopaths get an education in nutrition. Doctors get an education on how to treat disease. They know nothing about diet. So if your doctor indulged your desire to discuss diet, he would be doing so outside his realm of expertise. And here's another fact. Diet plays a part in every aspect of menopause, both symptoms and diseases. But diet alone cannot alleviate symptoms or prevent any diseases except heart attack all by itself. So despite the fact that your doctor is the wrong professional to use for discussing diet, you would still need more than just dietary options for everything related to your menopause. So do not base your concept of the general knowledge of doctors by what you learned from me, because I'm an oddball. I go to school after school after school. I like to learn everything. I approach your menopause management options as a smorgasbord of all categories of options. Most other medical doctors only know the medical options. So, is that doctor still a hero? Or is he still a heretic? Or have you changed your opinion one way or another? Okay, here's scenario 2. You go to your GP, your general practitioner, when you start having all the symptoms of menopause. And you've been watching my videos and you know that you want HRT at a dosage that will prevent the diseases associated with menopause. But when you ask your GP for HRT, he gives you a dosage that is not even half of the required dosage for preventing the diseases of menopause. You balk and ask for a higher dosage. But your GP says, oh no, the risks are too great. I give everyone the smallest dosage for the shortest period of time. Does that make your doctor a hero or a heretic? Here are the facts behind that scenario. Do you know how much education on menopause doctors get in medical school? About 1 hour. That's it. All doctors go to medical school for 4 years, but then they do an additional 4 years of training called a residency, and the residency focuses only on their chosen area of medicine. So, all doctors other than gynecologists usually have no further education or training on menopause. They just have that 1 hour, and that means they only know the basics. General practitioners, family practitioners, and internal medicine docs are tinkers of all trades and masters of none. They know a little bit about a lot of things, but they aren't experts on anything. So all doctors other than gynecologists are doing the best they can with the little bit of knowledge they have on menopause. If you've watched my webinars, read my book, or are watching my YouTube videos, you have a lot more knowledge than they have. Gynecologists spend 4 years after medical school learning women's health in great depth, and much of that education pertains to menopause. So gynecologists know a ton more than other doctors on menopause. And if you can find a gynecologist who specializes in menopause, you'll be working with a true menopause expert. You'll save yourself a lot of agony. And here's a way you can find them. If you live in North America, there's a website called menopause.org. All you do is click on the tab that says for women. Then you click on the drop-down menu item that says find a menopause practitioner. And then you just put in your zip code. And all the menopause specialists near you will pop up. So your non-gynecologist doctors who help you manage your menopause are doing the best they can with the little bit of knowledge they have, but they cannot help you like a menopause specialist can. So, is that doctor a hero or a heretic? Or have you changed your opinion one way or the other? Okay, here's scenario number 3. You've heard about bioidentical hormones. You don't know much about them, but it seems that they're all the rage and you decide you want them. So you go to your doctor and tell him your girlfriend takes bioidentical hormones from a compounding pharmacy and that you want the same thing she's taking. But your doctor says, I don't prescribe compounded bioidentical hormones and your insurance doesn't allow them. And he writes you a script for estradiol and micronized progesterone. So, is this doctor a hero or a heretic? Here are the facts. The word bioidentical simply means identical to the molecules in your body. It has nothing to do with whether or not the hormones come from a compounding pharmacy. The vast majority of insurance companies will not pay for compounded bioidentical hormones because they are not FDA approved or regulated in any way. The prescription your doctor wrote for estradiol is bioidentical. It's just made by a pharmaceutical company instead of a compounding pharmacy, and insurance covers it. The prescription he wrote for micronized progesterone is also bioidentical. It too is made by a pharmaceutical company rather than a compounding pharmacy, and insurance covers it. So your doctor has given you exactly what you want, but done so in a way that your insurance company will pay for it. So is that doctor a hero or a heretic, or have you changed your opinion on one way or the other? Here's scenario number 4. Isn't this fun? In this scenario, you're already taking HRT and you love it. You don't want to change a thing. But when you go to your doctor for your regular checkup, he says he's going to give you a different brand of your HRT. Same hormones, just a different brand. You protest, saying you like what you're on. The doctor says that your insurance won't pay for your beloved HRT anymore. You reluctantly agree to change, but you don't believe the doctor. You think he gets a payoff from the pharmaceutical company when he puts women on the new hormones. So does changing your HRT from one brand to another, when you are perfectly happy with the original brand, make your doctor a hero or a heretic? Here's what's behind the scene. You think you and your doctor make decisions about your medical care. That is not accurate. Your medical insurance company is calling all the shots. Both you and your doctor have signed a contract with your medical insurance company agreeing to follow their rules. Problem is, you don't know the rules, and the rules keep changing. Your insurance company has something called a formulary. It's a list of all the medications it'll pay for, but the list keeps changing. And that's because your insurance company is constantly shopping for lower prices. Who cares what you like? Or who cares what works for you? Who cares which drug produces the fewest side effects? And who cares if your doctor prefers for you to take a brand other than the one the insurance company will pay for? All the insurance company cares about is cost. So if you'd stayed on your beloved drug, you would have had to pay for it. Oh, and maybe you prefer that. Is your doctor a hero or a heretic? Or have you changed your opinion one way or the other? Here's scenario number 5. You're totally against taking HRT. You've heard all sorts of comments from your girlfriends leading you to believe it causes cancer. You have no more education than that, but you think that's enough. If your girlfriends are afraid of HRT, it must be bad. So you decide it's poison and you're dead set against it. But when you go to your doctor, you admit to having severe menopausal symptoms, including depression, vaginal dryness, hot flashes, and severe insomnia. And your bone density test indicates that you have osteopenia, meaning you're on your way to osteoporosis land, sister. So your doctor recommends HRT. You're shocked. You refuse, and you tell all your girlfriends that your doctor is trying to kill you. Is your doctor a hero or a heretic? Here are the facts. HRT is indicated primarily for alleviating symptoms of menopause, but the secondary perks of taking HRT is that it prevents heart attack, osteoporosis, and Alzheimer's disease. Your doctor knows this and was trying to solve all your menopausal issues with one option that will suffice for both the short term and the long term. But you and your girlfriends have no idea that there are benefits to taking HRT. You tell all your girlfriends to stay away from that doctor and you write a nasty review on him. Later, you discover my education, learn the facts, and decide to take HRT. Is that doctor still a hero, a heretic, or have you changed your mind? Aren't you just loving this game? Here's scenario 6. You have multiple risk factors for osteoporosis. Your doctor is worried that you'll end up with a hip fracture and incapacitated at an early age. So he suggests that you get a bone density test now at age 50. But your insurance company follows the guidelines of the U.S. Preventive Task Force, which says you should get your first bone density test at age 65. You feel conflicted because of the big discrepancy in timing for your bone density test. You have no symptoms to suggest bone loss, and if you get the bone density test, you'll have to pay for it. You don't think you should have to pay for it. But if you don't get the test and prove that you need to do something to prevent a hip fracture,